All right, let's talk money. Who's ready to unlock their financial superpowers?
Today, we're ditching the complicated jargon and diving deep into practical money management tips that anyone can use.
We're talking real strategies straight from the source to help you build a strong financial foundation.
It's all about understanding where your money goes and making it work harder for you, no matter where you're starting from.
Like having a personal finance guide, but way more fun to listen to. One of the things that came up a lot in the research was budgeting.
Right, and I know for some people, budgeting sounds about as exciting as watching paint dry.
Maybe not the most glamorous topic.
But it's essential. It really is the foundation of good financial health.
I mean, it makes sense. It's about understanding your financial ecosystem, where your money comes in and where it goes.
Exactly. And speaking of budgeting, I'm sure many of you have heard of the 50-30-20 rule.
That's the one where you divide your income into needs, wants, and savings. Right.
You got it. So 50% of your after-tax income goes to essentials. Rent, groceries, bills, transportation, those kinds of things.
The must-haves.
Exactly. Then we've got 30% for wants, things you enjoy but could live without if you had to. Dining out, entertainment, hobbies, that new gadget you've had your eye on.
Okay, so the fun stuff. And that leaves 20% for savings and debt recasit.
Precisely. Now, it's a really useful framework, but what our sources emphasize is that it's not one size fits all.
So how do you know if those percentages are right for you?
Well, it really depends on your individual circumstances and where you live. For example, if you're in a city with a high cost of living, that 50% for needs might need to be adjusted upwards.
Makes sense.
Or, let's say you're on a mission to pay down debt aggressively. You might choose to allocate more towards that 20% category, even if it means temporarily cutting back on some wants.
So it's about finding that balance that works for your life and your goals.
Absolutely. It's about flexibility and adapting the framework to your unique needs. Now, let's shift gears to another crucial aspect of financial well-being, the emergency fund.
The what if fund.
Right. And, it's something that often gets pushed aside, but honestly, it can be a lifesaver if unexpected expenses pop up.
Like a sudden job loss or those unexpected medical bills no one wants to think about.
Exactly. Having that financial cushion of 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses set aside can make all the difference.
It's that safety net that helps you weather those financial storms. Any tips on how to actually build that fund? Because it can feel like a daunting task.
Definitely. The key here is to automate, automate, automate.
Set it and forget it.
You got it. Set up regular automatic transfers from your checking account to a dedicated savings account.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a small amount to start with, it all adds up over time.
And before you know it, you've got a nice little safety net. I like it. And since we're on the topic of tackling the tough stuff, let's talk about debt.
Ah, yes, debt. It can feel like a huge weight on your shoulders, but our sources emphasize that it is manageable. The key is to be strategic about it. Prioritize.
So, where do you even start when it feels like you're surrounded by debt?
Well, high-interest debts like credit cards should be at the top of your hit list.
Yeah, those interest rates can really add up quickly.
Absolutely. And if you can, try to make more than the minimum payment each month.
Because in the long run, paying down those high interest debts aggressively not only saves you money on interest, but it also frees up more cash flow over time.
You're getting it. It's all connected. Now, while we're on the topic of spending, can we talk about those impulse buys for a sec?
Oh, tell me about it. I'm guilty.
Those little purchases can really derail a budget without you even realizing it.
It's so easy to get caught up in the moment, especially with online shopping these days.
Oh, I know. The sales, the targeted ads, it's hard to resist sometimes. One of the simplest yet most effective tips our sources highlighted was this: delay the purchase.
Give yourself a cooling off period.
Exactly. If you're still thinking about it a day or two later, then maybe it's something you truly want or need. But often, that initial impulse fades, and you'll find that you're perfectly happy without it.
That's so true. It's about making intentional choices with your money, not just swiping the credit card without thinking.
100%. And speaking of intentionality, let's shift our focus to financial goals.
Because what are we working towards if we don't have goals, right?
Think of financial goals as your personalized roadmap to success. It could be anything. It could be saving for a down payment on a house, planning that dream vacation, or even securing a comfortable retirement. Having those goals clearly defined gives you something to work towards and helps you stay focused and motivated.
I love that. Having that clarity makes a world of difference. And, our research also touched on investing as a way to make your money work harder for you.
Right. And the golden rule of investing, the one that kept popping up, is diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Smart. So explore your options. There's real estate, stocks, mutual funds, index funds, so many possibilities.
Exactly. But, and this is a big but, research is crucial. Take the time to understand what you're investing in.
Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your finances. And that brings me to one of my biggest takeaways from all of this, the importance of regular financial checkups.
Yes. Think of it like a tune-up for your money. Set aside some time every few months to review your budget, see if it's still working for you, revisit your goals, track your progress, and make adjustments as needed.
Because life throws curveballs. Things change, and your financial plan needs to be able to adapt right along with it.
Absolutely.
Wow, this deep dive was packed with actionable advice. I'm feeling inspired. Time to level up my own finances.
Me too. And remember, even small changes can make a huge difference over time.
You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start with one small step. So here's a question for everyone listening. What's one small step, just one, that you can take today to start building a stronger financial future for yourself?
Now that's something to think about.